Okay, right. And Srijan doesn't like plants topic. Okay, all right. Hi Daksh, how are you? From which city and school you are joining us? Can you quickly type in the chat box? How many of you are joining us for the first time? Type F in the chat box if you are joining us for the first time. And type B if you've joined us before also. I know it for Asha's, for sure. But still you can type. Okay, so Dishant, Govardhan, both are joining us for the first time. And Asha's has joined us before also. Nice to know. What about others? Srijan is joining us for the second time. Okay, nice to know. Jia, are you joining us for the first time or you've been with us before also? Jia Hong Kong, I'm asking you. Okay. So let me quickly tell you about the flow of the session. So first of all, you'll get to know your mentor, right? And then you'll see a short informative PPT, wherein you will get to know a little more about the course that you're about to undertake. And after that, in case you are left with a query or a doubt, you can always ask that in the chat box. We'll be happy to answer. Okay? And then the actual demo will begin, for which all of you have been waiting for that. I know. Okay. So now let me tell you that we have with us Aishwarya ma'am, who's a wonderful mentor. I'm sure you're going to love her sessions. You know, she's very knowledgeable and she's got a passion for teaching. She loves to interact with kids like you. So I'll not speak much and I'll request ma'am to speak to you directly.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for such kind words. So, hi, everyone. As ma'am told you, my name is Aishwarya. I'm from Delhi and I have an MPhil in botany. And currently, I'm pursuing my PhD in genetics. So, I have been teaching competitive exams for almost four and a half years now. And I'm happy that there are so many of you who've cleared level 1 and we are here in level 2. So, congratulations to everyone, first of all. And in these sessions, of course, we'll be doing more questions and we'll be going through, whatever has been done for you before, but we'll just take it to an advanced level. So coming here and just sitting here and not answering won't work for me. All right. I'm already telling you that beforehand. You have to be more interactive. Like ma'am mentioned earlier, that we will have we'll unmute you during the main sessions. But what I want from you is to ask doubts as much as possible. Because if you're asking doubts, that means you're understanding something or the other. If you're not asking any doubts, that means you've not understood anything. All right. So all I want from you is to be interactive. That's it. Okay. So I hope you enjoy all my sessions and I hope we all have a great time together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that wonderful introduction. So Daksh is joining us from Bangalore, ANPS. Right. We still have kids joining us. Hi, Darshil. Can you please switch on your camera? Hi, Alina. Can you please rename the window by the child's name and switch on your camera, please? Srijan, switch on your camera. So Srijan, Darshil and Elena, please switch on your cameras. See, we do not allow students without video in the class. So thank you, Darshil. Nice to see you. So Darshil, please type in the chat box from which city you are joining us. In the meantime, let me share my screen. To go with the flow, I'll share the PPT. And we are good to go. So I believe my screen is visible to all. Is it?
Yes, Monica, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay, thank you, Pooja ma'am. So everyone, a very warm welcome to the demo and interaction program for Class 5 Science Olympiad Level 2 course. So as you are already aware that Olympiad Success is India's largest online preparation platform for Olympiad exams. Olympiad Success Live is India's first exclusive live classes for Olympiad's preparation, and School Plus by Olympiad Success is one of its own kind of annual program that includes 8 important courses that really matter at this point of time in your life. And these 8 courses include mathematics, English, science, logical reasoning, communication, both spoken and written, Vedic math, and coding. Here you get online CBSE and Olympiads classes for grades 6 to 10, one-on-one preparation classes for international mathematics Olympiads like SASMO, CMO, HKIMO, TIMO, Math Counts, US Common Core Math Competition, Math Kangaroo, and PRMO. So you can meet our international rank holders for the year 2021-22 on the screen. They are all brilliant kids like you. So the classes are going to be group sessions with batch size of around 20 students, delivered through Zoom by seasoned tutors who have got significant teaching experience. You've already met your mentor, Aishwarya ma'am. So you get 2 sessions per week, Tuesdays and Saturdays. Note down the timings, which will be 6:30 to 7:45 p.m. with 5 minutes of break in between the session. The sessions would include topic-wise quick revision of chapters and discussion on previous year level 2 questions, since this is a level 2 batch. Students will get reading material, practice questions, which are available on the dashboard of Olympiad Success. You'll also get a free access to Olympiad Success platform, wherein you can practice the level 2 topic-wise mock test for science. So syllabus for class 5 is available at this particular link, and the fees can be paid by clicking on this particular link. The fees for this entire course is 3,720 rupees, and it is going to be a 16 session course, right? Don't worry, all the relevant links have been pasted in the chat box and will again be pasted in the chat box for you to avail. The fees includes online classes, daily reading notes and exercises, practice of previous year level 2 questions, access to Olympiad Success platform for science. And while you are enrolling for this course, you should ideally share your roll number with us. So in case you do not make it to level 2, we'll refund the fee after deduction of 10%. Okay, hope this point is clear. So all that you require for these classes is a laptop or a desktop with good internet speed with headphones for better audio clarity, right? Now, preparation for Olympiad exams is slightly tougher than your regular school curriculum. You must have got a taste in level 2 exams. So you need to spend some time extra every day to cope with the curriculum. In 2020-21, Olympiad Success had students from more than 3,800 schools across India and abroad, hailing from 35 plus countries. Now, the live classes for this particular batch begins from 12th of December 2023, which is a Tuesday. So I hope you've noted down all the relevant details. Now I'll stop sharing my screen. In case you have a question or a doubt, please feel free to ask. Type it in the chat box. We'll be happy to answer. Any doubt, anyone? Asha's has no doubt. Okay. What about others? Jian, Harshit, Elena, please switch on your cameras. So Srijan is asking, which state are you from? Okay. So, okay, I'm from, right now I'm from Haryana. So I meant a doubt related to this entire course. Any doubt, any query, anyone? In case you do not have a doubt, I'll ask the question in case you do not ask. Do you have a question to ask or should I ask the question? Okay. So tell me the days on which we have classes. Okay, Jian, you can please get your camera repaired before the classes begin. Okay, so Dishant, Srijan, Ashaz have given the responses. So Dishant is saying Tuesday and Thursday. Ashaz is saying Tuesday and Saturday. Srijan is saying Tuesday and Saturday, Tuesday and Saturday. And Daksh is also saying Tuesday and Saturday. Okay. Yes. Tuesday and Saturday is the correct answer. Now, can you tell me the timings? Ashaz is already, ready with his answer. 6:30 to 7:45 p.m. is correct. That's correct. Okay. And how many sessions are going to be there overall? 16, are you sure? Yes. All of you are right. It's 16. It's going to be a 16 session course. So I think everything is as clear as a crystal now. Shall we begin with the demo? Show me a thumbs up. Okay. Right. So I think Aishwarya ma'am, we can begin with the demo now. So all over to you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, so let me just share my screen. So today we're going to talk about, we have some questions for you. So we'll discuss some questions which are level 2 questions. And the topic that we have today for our demo is plants. Right now, I think some of you mentioned that plants and animals are difficult. So we'll start with the most difficult topic for those of you who feel that way. All right. So what I want you to do is, please put in your answers. So there are a couple of questions that we're going to discuss. Put in your answers in the chat box and send it to me directly so that everybody gets a chance to answer and nobody copies anybody else's answers. Is that clear? Send me a direct message for your answers. You can just put the option A, B, C, D. That's it. All right. Shall we start? Yes, no, don't know. No reactions. All right. Daksh is giving me a thumbs up. Great. Okay. All right. This is the first question. So Kate found 3 fruits, X, Y, Z. Fruit X was very light and had wings. Fruit Y was spiny. Fruit Z had a thick, fibrous coat. Which of the following holds true for X, Y, and Z? All right. First option is mode of seed dispersal of fruit X is similar to that of lotus. Both fruits Y and Z can be dispersed by the same agency. Seeds of guava and seeds of fruit Y both are dispersed by animals, and mode of seed dispersal of fruit Z is similar to that of balsam. So this is from the plant topic. This is your pollination. All right. So how different, or let's say different, not pollination, sorry, dispersal of seeds. So we have different types of fruits, which is X, Y, Z. For each of the fruits, you are given the description of the fruit. According to the description of the fruit, first you identify your agent. What will be the agent? Is it Is it being dispersed by wind? Is it being dispersed by water? Or it is being dispersed by animal, insects, all of those things. Identify that depending upon the features and then go through the options. Yes, I've just got one answer. The shield, very good, that's correct. What about others? Daksh, correct. I want everybody to put in your answers. It's okay even if you're wrong. Doesn't matter. We're all here to learn. Okay. Shrujan, there can be only one option, right? One answer. So either it could be whatever you answered, only one I want. You can't mark two options. Okay, Alina, correct. Others think. So, for example, let's say if you're talking about fruit X, description of fruit X is that it is very light and it has wings. That means it is being dispersed by air. Because it's lightweight, air will allow the fruit to move around, and it has wings also, which will also allow it to travel to longer distances. So that's air. Coming to fruit Y, it is spiny. That means it can be stuck onto the fur or the coat of certain animals. Because it has spines, it will easily stick onto the fur. So fruit Y will be dispersed by animal. And fruit Z has a thick fibrous coating. That means it is being protected by a fiber-like coating so that the fruit doesn't, or the seed inside the fruit will not germinate easily. So if it is coated by a thick fibrous coating, it could be pollinated or it could be dispersed by water. Now look at the options. Mode of seed dispersal of fruit X is similar to lotus. This is incorrect. Lotus is an aquatic plant, right? So it cannot have dispersal through air. X is being dispersed through air. Coming to the second one, both fruits Y and Z can be dispersed by the same agent. This is also incorrect. We've already established that fruit Y is by an animal and fruit Z is by water. So it's not being dispersed by the same agent or the same agency, right? Third one, seeds of guava and seeds of fruit Y both are dispersed by the same agent or by animals. So this is correct. Guava is dispersed by animals, and we've already established that fruit Y is also being dispersed by animals only. So this is your correct option. Let's look at the last one also. Mode of seed dispersal of fruit Z is similar to that of balsam. This is incorrect. Balsam is by animal again, but fruit Z is by water. Any doubt, anyone? So when we're talking about pollination or when we're talking about dispersal of fruits or seeds, we will first figure out all the characteristics. These characteristics will allow you to figure out what is the dispersal mechanism, and then you read the options and mark your correct answers. Okay? Any doubt, anyone? Shall we move forward? If there's a doubt, please ask. If not, we'll move forward. All right. Let's move forward then. Okay, next question. Refer to the given Venn diagram. So this is your Venn diagram. Characteristics are given. So for P is a plant that propagates vegetatively by stem. Q is a plant that propagates by only leaves. R is a plant that is propagating or is reproducing seeds. S is a plant that can be done by both, by stem also and by seeds also. And T is a plant that can be vegetatively propagated by leaves also and seeds also. So you have to identify P, Q, R, S, T. So first option is S could be a rose plant, whereas P could be a potato plant. Q could be bryophyllum, T could be strawberry. R could be a fern or an alga. And Q could be spinach and P could be colocasia. Please put in your answers quickly and send it to me directly again. Okay. What about others? I want everybody to put in your answers. It's okay if even if it's incorrect. Doesn't matter. At least I'll know how many of you know and how many of you don't know. Okay. I've only got one correct answer, that is Harshit. Very good, Harshit. What about others? Think. Darshil, correct. Very good. Think, everyone. Others think. I'll give you another minute or so. Think. Pea is a plant that is vegetative, that is propagated by stem only. R is by only seeds. Q is only by leaves. T is by leaves and seeds both. And S is by stem and seeds both. Those of you who have not answered, I'm again requesting, please put in your answers. Okay, still no correct answer. Only Harshit and Darshil have given me the correct answer. Okay, let's look at the options. Okay, Daksh correct now. Good. All right, let's look at plant P. Plant P, they're saying, is vegetatively propagated by stem only. All right. So option A is given, and S is something that can be propagated by stem also and seeds also. So they're saying S could be a rose plant, whereas P could be a potato plant. This is the correct option actually. Because if you see rose plant, you can take the stem cuttings and directly put it into the soil. And rose plants will also produce seeds because they have flowers, and flowers will eventually convert into fruits, and fruits will produce seeds. So they can be propagated by seeds also and by stem cuttings also. And P is a potato plant. Potato is an underground stem. So if you've seen, everybody must have seen a potato. You see, potato has these white colored structures on the top, which are known as eyes. Okay, these eyes are nothing but buds on the potato. So if I take a small piece of this potato along with the eye of the potato or the bud on the potato and simply place it in the soil or sow it in the soil, it will give rise to a new potato plant. Okay, so this bud will obviously give rise to root and shoot, and you can have a new plant. So normally we do not produce, or the potato doesn't reproduce by seeds because it takes a lot of time, whereas these eyes or the buds will propagate very quickly. Okay, so we use this method only. Now coming to the next option. So this is your correct option. Let's see why the other options are incorrect. Q could be bryophyllum. T could be strawberry. Q is correct. This is correctly mentioned. Bryophyllum is propagated by leaves, but T could be strawberry. This is incorrect. Strawberry leaves are not used for reproduction. They are only propagated through seeds. That is why this is the incorrect option. Third one, R could be a fern or an alga. Ferns, algae, first of all, they do not produce seeds. They are seedless and flowerless organisms or flowerless plants. So algae and ferns both don't produce flowers. If flowers are not there, there are no fruits. If there are no fruits, there are no seeds. Okay. Next, Q could be spinach and P could be colocasia. Q could be spinach. This is correct. Spinach can be propagated through leaves. P could be colocasia. Colocasia, does anyone know what is colocasia? No? Colocasia is your sweet potato. So P is something that is propagated through the stem. Sweet potato is not a stem. It looks similar to a potato, but sweet potato is a root. It's not a stem. How do you differentiate between a root and stem? Like I'm saying potato is a stem, but colocasia I'm saying, or sweet potato is a root. How do you know? Both are underground, right? Or let's say if we have carrot and potato. Carrot is also underground. Carrot is a stem. Sorry, carrot is a root. But I'm saying potato is a stem. Why? Both are underground. Both are storing food. How do you differentiate between a root and a stem? Sweet potato has buds. Then it should have been a stem if sweet potato has buds on it. Potato has buds on it. Sweet potato doesn't. Okay, potato has buds on it. Correct. Where does the bud come out from? Very good, Shrujan. Very good. This is what I was looking for. Stems have nodes and internodes. Always remember, how do you differentiate between a stem and a root is that stems will have nodes and internodes present on it. Roots will have no nodes and internodes. Even if you look at turmeric or you look at ginger, ginger and turmeric have very prominent nodes and internodes. So those, even potato has nodes and internodes. The place where the bud is coming out from is the node. Okay, that is why potato is a stem, but sweet potato, carrot, radish, turnip, these are all roots. They do not have nodes and internodes. Okay. So is this question understood? Is there any doubt, anyone? All right, let's move on to the next one. For those of you who do not know, let's say, obviously when we come to regular classes, we do a quick revision of the topic and then we'll move on to the questions, of course. But when I'm doing the revision, what I wanted to do is for the chapter plants and animals is in general, focus on the examples. So for example, colocasia is given. Everybody has seen a sweet potato or everybody knows what is a sweet potato, but you will not figure out what is colocasia. So the more number of examples you know of and the more number of examples you learn, it will be better for you. And let's say if you don't know what it looks like. So for example, let's say you don't know how a fern looks like or you don't know how colocasia looks like. Google it, right? If you see the example, Google it, see the image and understand how it looks like. So that when it comes as a question, like in the options it is coming, you will remember it somewhere or the other that this is a picture I've already seen, this is a plant I've already seen, because for plants, it's slightly difficult for you to understand the different types. For animals, we know, even if you've never seen a tiger in real life, you know what it looks like, right? But for plants, most of the plants, we might know them, we might have seen them, but we don't know the names. Okay, so try to place an image along with your examples, as many as possible. All right, let's move to the next one. Okay, this is study the given table and select the correct option regarding PQR. So we have reproductive parts that are other than seeds. For example, there is roots, it's Q and then R. Example of plants that are reproducing through roots is P, through Q is ginger, and through R is bryophyllum. Okay, we've done a similar question in the previous one, second one. So this will make it slightly easy. P is modified to store food as in sweet potato or people. Q is always underground and modified to store food. R is non-green, non-photosynthetic and performs the function of reproduction only. And P could be dahlia or turnip. Put in your answers in the chat box, please, everyone. And those of you who are not answering, try and answer, take a guess, understand the question, take your time and answer. Okay. Dishant, correct. Others think? Daksh, correct. I'll give you a minute or so. Think about first what could be Q and R according to the options given. And then for roots, it's already given. You just have to figure out something that is propagating with the help of root. Okay, Darshil, correct. Others think a little bit more. Shrujan, correct. Those of you are not answering, please answer. Otherwise, you'll never know how much you know also. Read the options carefully. I just told you how you identify for ginger, and we've already discussed how bryophyllum is being propagated. So Q and R you can figure out, and then you can do the options. I'm giving you another minute to solve this. Harshit, correct. Think, everyone. Read the options carefully again. We already discussed about sweet potato. People tree, everybody has seen, I'm sure, somewhere or the other. Even if you haven't seen, you know how it looks like. Correct. Okay. All right. So first, let's talk about what is Q and R. So reproductive part other than seeds. So roots are there. Q will be what? Ginger is, I told you ginger is an underground stem. Okay. So Q would be stem. R on the other hand would be bryophyllum. Bryophyllum is propagated through what? We just did this in the last one. Last question. Leaves. Correct. It is propagated through the leaf. So Q is stem, R is leaf, right? So we are talking about roots. We have to find one of the examples for root. So we have said P is modified to store food as in sweet potato. So sweet potato is a root. That is correct. But in people, the people root doesn't store food. Okay. People has a normal root system. It has a tap root system, but it is not storing food. So this is incorrect. Okay. In people, there is no modification present. Coming to B, Q is always underground and modified to store food. This is incorrect. Not all stems are underground, right? And not all stems are storing food. So this is also incorrect. All stems are not underground. So this is incorrect. This is also incorrect. Coming to C, R is non-green, non-photosynthetic, and performs the function of reproduction only. What they are describing is a flower. But what is R? R is a leaf. Okay. So this is also incorrect. Next we have P could be dahlia or turnip. This is correct. If you look at the root of dahlia or turnip, both of them are bulb-like structures. Okay, that means they are swollen structures. Turnip normally we eat also. Dahlia roots we don't eat, but they also store starch. Okay, so both of them look something like this only. They look like a round ball-like structure and they are roots. Okay, so they are storage roots. So this is correct. Root and option for examples is daily and turn. Any doubt, anyone? No? Yes? Don't know? All right. Let's move forward. Okay. Next one, study the flowchart below. So plants, flowering plant, yes, it's a flowering plant with brightly colored flowers, yes. Is it poisonous? Yes. So a plant which is flowering with bright flowers and it is poisonous, then it is W. A plant that is flowering, has brightly colored flowers but is not poisonous is Z. Then a flowering plant flowering plant, yes, but no brightly colored flowers. That means the flowers could be small, they could be inconspicuous. Brightly colored flowers are usually present in plants which are pollinated by insects. To attract the insects, they have brightly colored flowers. If the plant is being pollinated by, let's say, wind or by water or any other agent, then they are not brightly colored. Okay. Then coming to X, flowering plant, no, but is reproducing through spores. That is X. Which letters W, X, Y, Z represents the plants that are most likely pollinated by wind? I already explained that. I've already given you the answer. Correct. It is Darshil correct, Jian correct. Others think Dishant correct. I just explained which ones will have brightly colored flowers and which ones will not have brightly colored flowers. Govardhan correct. Others think something that is flowering, brightly colored flowers, yes, no. I just explained which ones will have brightly colored flowers. Flowers that are pollinated by insects will be brightly colored. Okay, so Definitely, we don't have these options. Definitely, W and X are not the correct options because they have brightly colored flowers. Brightly colored flowers are animal or insect pollinated to attract them. Okay. These X do not have flowers at all. So if there are no flowers, there's no pollination. They are reproducing by spores. So probably this is, let's say, a fern, or it could be fungi also. Okay, we are not sure. So the correct option is Y, because they are flowering plants, but they do not have brightly colored flowers. Because if they are wind pollinated, they don't need to attract any organism. They can simply be flown away or they can be taken away by the wind. So probably they'll have feathery pollen grains. The flowers will be open completely so that wind can come and take them away. All right. Any doubt, anyone so far? Anything anybody wants me to explain again? Or is it clear? It's clear. All right. Shall we move forward? Next question. Okay. Okay, next one. The diagram shows the cross section of a flower. So this is parts of the flower. What will happen to the flower if A is cut off? So first you have to identify what is A. There are three options given. What could be possible? The flower will die. Fertilization will not take place. The flower cannot reproduce pollen grains. A only, C only, AB only, or BC only. So first identify what is A. And then see what will happen if A is removed or I cut off A from the plant of the flower. This is an easy question. Govardhan, correct? Others think carefully. I've only got one correct answer that has come from Govardhan. Think about it. Okay, first tell me, Harshit, correct? First tell me what is A? Which part of the flower is A? Correct. Correct, Shrujan. A is correct, but think about what is your answer. Dishant, correct answer. But first tell me what is A? What is this that they are marking? Which part of the flower is it? Nobody wants to answer me. Only Shrujan has given me the answer. What is A? Harshit, correct. Okay. Correct. Dishant, it is not that. It is present. Whatever you've written is present inside this. Okay. So correct. A is what? A is the androecium or the male reproductive part, right? Sorry, just going back. All right. This is androecium. And the yellow portion is the anther that they have marked. And this is your filament, right? So if I remove the androecium, will the flower die? No, right? The flower will not die. It can still survive. There are so many flowers that are unisexual. That means they'll only have either female reproductive organ or they will only have the male reproductive organ. So the flower will survive. It will not die. Next option is fertilization will not take place. Fertilization can take place. They can do cross-pollination. Is it necessary that it has to be self-pollination? No, right? So it could be cross-pollination also. Pollen grains can come from somewhere else. So fertilization will also take place. Last one, flower cannot produce pollen grain. This is the only one that is correct. Flower will not be able to produce pollen grains because you've removed the androecium only. Okay, so correct answer is C only. So most of you know your concepts because most of you answered A and B only. Most of you answered option C. So you know what are pollen grains doing. You know what is an androecium, but you have to carefully look at the options. Look at all the possibilities that are present. Okay, and then answer. Level 2 will be slightly more, thinking and analytical base as compared to level 1. So you'll have to think a little bit more. Any doubt here? Can we move to the next one? If you have any doubts, please feel free to ask. You can send me a direct message. It's okay, even if you feel your doubt is silly. No doubt will be silly. Trust me, you can ask your doubts, and I'm happy to repeat myself. No problem at all. Okay. Yes, Dishant, what's your doubt? You can put it in the chat box. Till then, I'll read the next question. Dishant, you can put your doubt in the chat box for me. Okay. Mr. Bhatt plowed a field and killed all the weeds. He left plants PQRS growing on one side of the field and then left the field untouched for 1 month as he went out of the city. The wind blew in the same direction for the whole month. That means PQRS was left here and the wind direction was this way. Okay. When he returned, this is what he saw. So he saw that there is spread of PQRS plants everywhere. Which one of the plants PQRS is likely to have seeds dispersed by wind? Dishant, in the androecium, the above part is the anther and the stalk that is present is the filament. Okay. So the yellow portion that was marked was the anther, and inside the anther you have production of pollen grain. So this is what it looked like, right? So this portion is the anther, and this is your filament. Inside the anther you will have the pollen grains. Anther is ANTHER, anther. What is the correct answer here, everyone? Okay, Jian, correct. Aditya, correct, but you have to put it in, you have to send me a direct message because now everyone knows the correct answer. Aditya, send me a direct message, please. Jia, you also send me a direct message, which is your answer is correct. Daksh, correct. Nehal was also correct. Okay, so the correct answer is Q. Okay, why Q? Because you see, Q is the one that has traveled the longest distance. Okay, so if the wind was blowing in this direction, you see the wind is blowing in this direction. If you see R is randomly dispersed, it's here also, it's here also, it's here also. So most likely it was by an insect or an animal, which could come close also, it could travel far away also. If you look at S, S was probably explosive because it's exploded only nearby. Okay. Then we have P. P you see again is randomly dispersed here and there. It's close by also and it's far away also. Again, maybe it's by an insect or an animal. But if you see Q, Q has traveled the furthest distance. That means it was dispersed by wind. Okay. I'm sure in level 1 also you must have seen graphical questions that had come. All right. Most of the previous year questions also you see graphs have come where they mention the distance. So according to that, this is just another type of that one only, but in a different manner. So they've not given you a graph, but they've given you a picture. So it showcases the same thing. All right. So according to the distance traveled by the seeds, you will figure out what is what. Okay, next one. This diagram shows a flower of a plant. Okay, this is a flower. Everything has been marked. So small, dull colored petals. This is your anther. The feathery stigma is present. Based on this diagram, which of the following best describes the way in which the flower is likely to be pollinated? Okay, The feathery stigma can capture the pollen grains floating in the air. The feathery stigma will be carried by the wind to the anther. The petals are dull colored to attract insects for pollination. The flower produces a sweet scent to attract insects. And this is an easy one. I have already told you what about brightly colored flowers. Think about how fertilization or pollination occurs. Nehal, think again. Read all the options again and then tell me. There's a feathery stigma. The anthers are exposed completely. They have dull colored and small flowers. Govardhan, correct? Sorry, Govardhan, incorrect. Think again. Others also think. Daksh, think. Govardhan now correct. Darshil correct. What about others? Why are others not answering? Dishant correct. Alina is not answering. Shujan also has stopped answering. Jia, you're also not answering. P. Suhas, not answering. Please answer those of you who are not answering. Daksh, your first option was correct. First one was correct. Why did you change your answer? Be confident in what you're answering. Even if you feel it's incorrect, it's okay. All right, let's look at these. First of all, there are dull petals. Do dull petals attract insects? Will dull petals attract insects? No, right? So, option C is incorrect. Option C is saying petals are dull colored to attract insects. So, first of all, Shujan correct. This is incorrect, okay? Then D is also incorrect. If C is incorrect, D is also incorrect. They're saying the flower produces a sweet scent to attract insects. Insects are not being attracted at all. If there is no brightly colored flowers, brightly colored petals, there's no nectar also. Okay, so it's not insect pollinated, right? So both of these are incorrect. Now, let's look at A and B. Feathery stigma can capture the pollen floating in air. This is correct. This one is incorrect. The feathery stigma will be carried to the anther. Stigma will never be carried to the anther. It's the pollen grains that are carried from the anther to the stigma. That is what pollination is. The definition of pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma. Okay, so correct answer is 1A, where the feathery stigma will simply capture all the pollen that is floating in air. So it is air pollinated. Any doubt, anyone? Let's move forward then. Okay, the diagram below shows again flower P. Two parts of the flower were removed before pollination could occur. After some time, a fruit is formed. So you have A, B, C is this one, and D is inside. Which two parts of the flower do you think is removed? So before pollination could occur, two parts have been removed, but still the fruit is being formed. So amongst A, B, C, D, which one do you think can be removed and still pollination and fertilization will occur? So that fruit is being formed. Which ones are important for fruit formation? Quite an easy question. Okay. Correct. Dakshin Aditya, correct. Very good. Think Before pollination, if something is being removed, but still fertilization and pollination have occurred. Shrujan, correct. Nehal, think a little bit more. Something that can be removed, but still pollination will also occur and fertilization will also occur. Mm, yeah, Aditya, your answer is correct. Others think, okay, what is A here? What is A? This A. What is A? B is androecium because it's the same as before previous question. What is B? Sorry, what is A? A is the stigma. Correct. So that's the female reproductive organ. What is C? So A is gynoecium, B is androecium. What is C? C is the petal, correct. What is D? D. It's the ovary. Or it's the ovary, correct. So if I remove the ovary, I cannot have a fruit, right? Ovary converts into a fruit, ovule converts into the seed. So I cannot remove the ovary. So definitely not D. Okay. If I remove A, which is the stigma, stigma receives what? Govardhan now correct. Stigma receives the pollen grain. So if there's no stigma, there will be no pollination. So both stigma is also required and ovary is also required. Okay. So I can remove B because if I remove the androecium, it doesn't matter. The pollen grain can come from somewhere else, some other flower, cross-pollination can occur. Yes, now you've got your answers correct. And if I remove C also, even if I remove the petals, it doesn't matter. Petals eventually will get removed after fertilization. So both B and C can be removed and still I will have fertilization that will occur. Got it? So think one by one thing that if this is being removed or this is being done, will it be possible to undergo whatever has been asked in the question or not? And then answer. Okay. All right. Next question. Study the diagram below. Which one of the following correctly represents A, B, and C? Okay. Organism. It can bear fruits. No. Is it able to photosynthesize? No. So A. No fruits, no photosynthesis is A. No fruits, but photosynthesis is happening. That is B. Fruits present, yes. Seeds dispersed by wind, yes. That is your shoria tree. They've already given you the answer. And if it is not dispersed by wind, that means it is being dispersed by any other agent other than wind. It could be animal, water, anything. That is C. So A is mushroom, B is fern, coconut is C. A fern, B coconut, C mushroom. A mushroom, B coconut, C fern. A fern, B mushroom, C coconut. What is the correct answer? Think about whether photosynthesis is happening in any kind of organism and if that organism is given in here or not. Okay, Shrujan correct, Dishant correct. Others will have to think a little bit. Think. If I have not taken your name, that means your answer is not correct. Think about it. Even if you figure out one of them, you'll get the correct answer. A is no fruit, no photosynthesis. If it's not undergoing photosynthesis, I'll give you a hint. Is it a green plant? All green plants can undergo photosynthesis. If it's not undergoing photosynthesis, that means it is not a green plant. Govardhan, Daksh, correct. Others? I'll give you another minute. It's an easy one. Aditya, now correct. Okay. So first of all, something, Nehal, correct. Something that does not bear fruits and doesn't undergo photosynthesis, it is a mushroom. Mushroom is a fungus. Mushrooms of fungi are saprophytic in nature. Okay. So they are simply getting their nourishment or they are absorbing nutrition from dead organic matter. So A is a mushroom. So you have only two options, A and C. Okay. So like I said, even if you know one of them, you'll be able to answer. Then coming to option B, it doesn't bear fruits. That means it has no fruits, no seeds, no flowers, but it is undergoing photosynthesis. So that would be a fern. Okay. Fern, algae, they are green plants and they undergo photosynthesis, but they do not produce fruits and flowers or seeds. Now, something that is bearing fruits, but it is not dispersed by wind. That is your coconut. Coconut is dispersed by water, not wind. So that is the correct option. Any doubt, anyone? Option A will be correct. Okay. All right. This is the last question for today's demo. So let's try to answer it correctly. Study the distribution of seeds from plant W. Okay. So this is land, this is water, this is your plant W. The direction of the wind is given this way. Water direction is this way. These round structures that we have is the seed and W is the parent plant. Which one of the following most likely describes the fruits from plant W? Fruit has stiff hair. Fruit has fibrous husk. Fruit dries up and splits open. Fruit is light and has a feathery structure. Ferns are not underwater, Aditya. Ferns are a category which we call amphibians of the plant kingdom. So they require moisture. They are found in moist places, but they are not underwater. They'll be mostly found in places which have a lot of rainfall and all. First, identify what kind of a plant do you think this is. Wind direction is this way. Water direction is this way. So if you identify, is it wind pollinated or is it water pollinated, it will become easier. I still haven't got any correct answers as of now. I'm going to give you another minute or so. First, figure out in which direction do you see maximum number of seeds? And according to you, will it be wind pollinated or water pollinated? Wind is in this direction, water is in this direction. Nehal correct. Jian correct. Others still haven't given me correct answer. Think about it. Okay, I'll give you a hint. This is wind pollinated because you see in this direction when wind is flowing this way, you have many number of seeds here. You have seeds here also, but because it's wind pollinated, it can go here and there. So maximum number of seeds are in this direction along the direction of the wind. So it's wind pollinated. Now identify the correct option. Aditya, correct. Govardhan, correct. Mm. Okay. Option A is the correct answer. Why option A and not why option D? Most of you are giving me option D as the correct answer, but option D is not correct. Option B and C are definitely incorrect because fruit has a fibrous husk and fruit dries up and splits open. These are characteristics of what? These are characteristics of coconut, which is water pollinated, right? So coconut has a fibrous husk, right? Brown colored husk. And eventually when it dries up, what happens? The fruit does dry up completely. If you've seen raw coconut or the green colored coconut, which is full of water, eventually when that coconut dries up, it becomes brown in color and then it will split open also inside. So these two are properties of coconut, which is water pollinated. Now, if you see this, fruit has stiff hair, and here they are saying fruit is light and has a feathery structure. Option D is incorrect because the fruit will not have light and feathery structure. The seed will have light and feathery structure, no? Because it is being wind pollinated. So it is being wind dispersed. So if it is being dispersed by the wind, the seed will be carried from one position to another by the wind, not the fruit. So fruit is not light and feathery, the seed is light and feathery. And in the first option, they are saying fruit has stiff hair. This is correct because when the fruit has stiff hair, what will happen is it will keep the fruit intact in one place and it will allow the seeds to be exposed to the wind and it will take the seeds, which will be light and feathery, along with it and be dispersed here and there. Got it, everyone? So read the options carefully. You know your answer because most of you answered D. That means your concepts are clear of what are we discussing or what is happening. But you are getting confused, nothing else. Yes, Dishant, tell me what is your doubt? Yeah, seed is light and has feathers, but they're saying fruit is light and has feathery structure. That is incorrect. Okay. They're asking about the fruit, no? They're not asking about the example of W plant. Okay. Can anybody tell me example of any fruit that has seeds that are being dispersed by wind? I'm sure in level 1, most of you have done. Yes, correct. Very good, Aditya. Any other example? Dishant is asking example of W plant. So Dishant, you already have one example, which is cotton. Milkweed also, correct. Correct, Neha. Dandelion. They are also wind dispersed. Correct. So, Dishant, you have multiple, even maple also, correct. Indian elm also, correct. So you have many such examples. Dishant, got it? You can go through the content also, or you can simply, most of the ones that come on a repetitive basis are these only. Milkweed comes, cotton, dandelion, they only are asked again and again. So these are your common examples. Other than that, if there's any other example, we'll discuss it when we come for the regular classes and we do the revision. So we are done with this was your solution. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen. I hope everybody has understood the questions that we discussed today. So when we come for your regular classes, what I want from you is, of course, the schedule will be given to you that which chapter we are going to discuss, right? So what I want from you is revise that chapter before coming to class so that we have a quick revision and then we can discuss as many questions as possible, because the more number of questions we do, the better, right? Because I'm sure even when you were preparing for level 1, you must have seen that the pattern of the question paper is similar only. Year by year, it is similar. That means for example, in the achievers section, what kind of questions will be coming, or how many questions from chapter plant is going to come, what kind of question is going to come. So that's a fixed pattern. Just the type of question keeps on changing. So the more number of question papers you practice, most likely you will be able to get a good score for your level 2 also. And I'm repeating myself, level 2 will be slightly more application based as compared to level 1. So you'll have to revise in depth You can't just read up on the surface and then go for your exam, right? So slightly try to understand the concepts. If you understood the concept, you'll be able to answer any kind of question. Okay. Mostly we'll have to focus on the chapter plants and animals only. Other chapters are slightly more easier comparatively. Okay. So any questions for me, anyone? Regarding the subject or the test series or anything? All right. Okay then. All right, great. Okay, then I hope I see everyone in the regular classes. I hope you enjoyed the demo, right? And thank you everyone for joining. Bye-bye. See you guys soon. Bye everyone. Welcome. Bye-bye.